the woods. Hello. Today I've come down for a very short trip to a place I've visited a lot during my 365. It's a little woodland right by where I live. And there's all sorts to see down here. But what I'm really interested today is this amazing fog. Just look how it just sets the woodland alive. It's wet, it's damp. It's not great for photography, I guess, but the fog is just immense. Look. So I'm going to go and photograph a tree that I photographed a couple of times in my 365, and I'll put a link in the description so people who aren't aware of it can go and check it out if they want to. It's basically my 365 challenge for 2019. I'll also put links to the previous pictures I've taken of this tree. I might even flash them on screen now. So anyway, the tree is kind of isolated on its own in a field. There's not really much to it other than that. It's just a nice big old oak tree. And although I know there's a photograph there, I've never really been happy with what I've had so far from it. So I'll come down to see if this really thick, heavy fog can do the trick. Let's see. Just have a look at this woodland. So as I mentioned at the end of last week's video, this year is going to be a struggle. You know, it's going to be really interesting for me for all sorts of reasons. And unfortunately, there's been an additional complication. I got made redundant about a couple of weeks ago. Start of this year, and I've worked where I worked for 21 years, so that's a difficult thing to kind of swallow, I guess. But anyway, the only reason I'm telling you that is I firmly believe your emotions play a big part in your creativity. So whatever niche or artistic genre or discipline you practice in, it has a bearing on what you produce, what you create. You know, a singer singing happy songs is not going to impart the same emotion in that song if they're feeling very melancholy. It's a bit muddy. You know, a painter, if they're feeling very angry and aggressive or upset, the brushstrokes are going to be different to if they're feeling very calm and precise and composed. It's the same with me in my photography. I'm trying to capture something, you know, a mood that's vibrant and bright, but if I'm feeling somber, it doesn't work. So I'm having that kind of internal struggle with myself at the moment. I'm trying to separate what's happening in my professional life with my artistic side, my creative side, my photography. So anyway, I'm just telling you to give you context, really. That's all. The trees here. So enough of that. Let's get on with the photograph. Magnificent thing it is. I was just having a look to see whether I'd shoot from this side or the other side, and I think I'm going to shoot from this side because the sun's behind it and it's beautifully backlit. There isn't going to be a lot to this, very minimalist image, just a kind of a tree in the fog. So we'll see. I'll get the camera set up. So we are set. I'm focusing straight on the tree, very simple composition. I'm going to edit out some of the distractions around the tree in Lightroom. I'm actually going to take two shots. I'm going to take two shots of three. So the first one's going to be with no filter, straight onto the tree, and an exposure bracketed, 2 stops up, 2 stops down. And the reason for that is I'm not sure how, the fog is so thick, I'm not sure how well this is going to come out. I want to get a little bit of the trees in the background, you see, so I'm hoping that my exposure bracketing will pull a little bit of that very soft shadow through. And then the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put my polarizing filter on and do exactly the same thing. So the only thing that'll change really is that it'll be a slightly different shutter speed, slightly longer shutter speed. Other than that, exactly the same. I just want to see if the polarizer will cut through a little bit of the fog. I don't want to take the fog away, you see, I just want to have a hint of the trees in the background. So let's see. So we're done, and just look at this. Part of it looks cool, that tree, doesn't it? It's mega. See, I have a bit of a passion for it. It's just this tree in the middle of in the corner of a field, but passed it so many times during my 365, and just really like it. I want to try and get the best shot of it I can, you know. Anyway, shots in the bag. Let's see which ones turn out best. I actually think I might use a combination of a polarized exposure and a non-polarized exposure. Just got a feeling that the polarized exposures are going to pull a bit more of that shadow through the fog, you know, because what I'm trying to do is get a balance of, I want the fog there, but not so much that we can't see anything. So these woods I spent so many days in last year. Clearly photos of woodland, photos of all the fungus and some of the bird shots that I did. Train tracks. I'm quite fond of this little woodland for all of those reasons. There's the path disappearing into nothing. It's just cool, isn't it? So yeah, I want to give you a feeling for this woodland, and this place, just this place that I've spent so much time in last year photographing. It's a big part of it for me, it's the adventure. I know it's a little tiny woodland that's just literally behind my house. It's just, it's part of it, it's part of the adventure, part of the journey. That woodland and the fog. Hear a bit of the road noise now. We're back, almost to civilization. I guess the moral of this little story is the amazing little things that we have on our doorsteps. No matter where you live, you can hear the motorway. There's nice long exposures of the motorway last year. Trying to do some more of them this year. And a lot of people said to me in my 365, the amazing places you find, and yeah, I did, but honestly, I'm here, just here. And if around this bend and I turn around, you'll see houses, industrial estate. Just a little bit of woodland. It's right there. Give me so many photos. You wouldn't believe it. See you later.